Hi, new to the channel. Subscribe, please. This is the Viking Camaro channel. I built it just because I always say if a mechanic can't don't have a car, then you need a very good mechanic, huh? Well, I don't have. See, what you doing? If you get your car stolen and you live out in the boonies and there's nowhere to get to work, you don't have a way. So you have to build a car. Well, with everything I had, it would have to look like this. And I ain't doing it half-ass, I'm gonna do it all the way. But there's my Viking Camaro. I got a new sprayer the other night when I was playing with it. But yeah, this is Chevy Viking. I'll probably take that off. But it used to be a 61 Viking, 2-ton winch truck my grandpa always went around picking stuff up with. Well, the cab is gone. I needed a suspension for the car to drop the motor down, because with the other cave member, I don't even know, that's probably Dodge, but with the other subframe, the drop on the cross member across wasn't down far enough. Let me shed some light on the situation. And people say, well, I have caveman tools. I don't have a plasma cutter. I don't have a wire welder. Nothing like that. I use 2 sticks. 70-18. If there's a hole, I fix it. It looks pretty good. It'll work. I have a lot of bracing to do. So please don't act like I'm stupid, because I see people take pipes and run it from a truck frame to a car, because they can't put the frame right up against the car. This has got a unit frame. I'm not gonna hot rod it, like I ain't trying to drag it. I just think it'll be cool. It's independent front suspension, so it can't be that bumpy. But the motor I'm using is the International 330 or 392 with its big truck transmission out of a Lodestar International. What are they? They're E-Series trucks. They're big trucks, but they're all gasoline motors back then. I'm sure they had a diesel. I don't care. But it had torsion bar front suspension on this Viking, and you can see it. I don't know. I put all that on there. Well, I didn't do nothing. I left the frame. I just cut the frame short and bolted it in and made it where it sit lined correctly. But all the holes are drilled in the old frame, so I didn't have to do none of that. And I just attached it to the car. There'd be a lot of trial and error, but look at those saddle bearings. We have pumping units, and they use a big hole bar and caps like that on 3 pivoting points of a pumping unit. If anybody's in oil field, they'll be like, yep, that's a cap for a pumping unit. But it's totally rebuildable. The ball joints are totally rebuildable, except for that one. I bet you I could machine that. Oh. Steering box, steering rack, and then I got leaf springs in the back. The reason why I'm doing an airbag in the front is, well, I can. I could do a spring if I wanted to, but everything's original. Chevy, but the International motor. My grandpa used to take this motor, and he loaded like 3 cars on the back of a flatbed truck with no bed on it. He just ran bars across it and welded a big steel I-beam across the back, solid, just to the frame. and that's what he balanced the car on the back, and then he put like a telephone pole or something in the front, all depending on how long the longest car was. And he would haul rear all the way to Oklahoma City in this truck. Well, the truck he probably used to load this truck was the Viking. So all my grandpa is tied into this. And everybody's gonna have a problem with it. I don't like a full frame car. Nobody else does. I really hated getting into a Camaro that was touching the ground. But the fenders, the flares, pretty much the flares, because I didn't want to put some ugly old fenders on it. But, and I gotta shave all this in. This is just to hold it on. That's why I need a wire welder or something like that, but I'm not begging. I just don't have no money. I've been stuck here, stranded. This is my solution to getting out of here. It probably won't take me far, but it'll go 7 miles. And at the end of the channel, if I'm not a very good mechanic, then I won't have nothing to drive. I still got to build my house. I still got to scrap all this junk out of here because they kind of stopped the firefighters from getting closer to the house. And even though I saved one of their lives, they almost sprayed the electric line that burned off my house. And I had to scream at him and stop him. But he was responsive. I mean, I told him to stop, he stopped. But I help people. I make sure that they get their car fixed if they get me the parts, because I can't afford to buy them parts too. And if they can't pay for it, and usually they're pretty mad about it, but I'm the only one that's out. And I understand they want their car back, but I'll give it back to them because I don't want no bad juju, and I don't need. When people are mad at you, you don't need them coming to your place. You just give them their stuff back. If they pay you, they don't. If they don't, you know, it's like paying somebody to leave. I mean, you do that with the ex-wife all the time. I mean, why not do it to a person that brings their stuff here and they need it fixed because they don't have nothing else? Fix it for them. If I could afford the parts, I'd make sure every vehicle left here fixed. And sometimes I do. But this car is my way to get out of here. You can't depend on somebody to come get you out in the boonies every time you need to go somewhere. Like if I was coming in late for work, I'm sure everybody else already went home. It wouldn't work out. I usually drive. I'm starting this mechanic thing. I hope it turns out. I gotta close this place in. I didn't know my house was gonna burn 3 days ago. I hope y'all bear with me. But my front end is Chevy. Just comes out of a big truck. It's gonna be heavy, so it ain't gonna leave the ground. I promise you that. I'll have traction for days. And I don't know. I'm just trying it. I'm just winging it. I know this thing will be, if it's like a tractor, I'll drive it like a tractor all the way to the nearest town and ask for a job somewhere. But I hope this works out. And if anybody says anything to me, this was all free. I just labored on it. I haven't spent $1 on this car. I don't have any money. I barely make it. I was barely making it with a house. Now I'm barely making it with a kind of a shop area here. But I got her done. Thank you all and subscribe. I hope I can be. I hope it gets warmer in the next couple of days, but I get to start on my house tomorrow. I get to show y'all what it really is. Today, I'm sure everything will be dated. See how fast I move on this house. I don't ever do nothing until it needs to be done, but you see that motor? If I needed to pull it, I could look at it for days. It only takes 5 seconds to pull it. It only takes 5 seconds to flop a tire. It only takes so many seconds to work on cars. But you'll get places, and I've watched like at unknown tire